Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at the War for Cybertron trilogy Netflix Megatron from Transformers. I got this from my good buddy Shoki over at Shoki Reviews. He's already kind of shown it off on his channel, but I thought I'd show this off on mine and do a nice little thorough review of things. Particularly since the Netflix series just came out, and I'm sure a lot of you people are curious about this version of Megatron. So, let's go ahead and get started by looking at everything in the box. So, over here we got a very cool illustration of Megatron. It's kind of a sketchy art style that I dig, though the Decepticon symbol here looks a little off. I like the spray painted Decepticon symbol. That's neat. So we got Decepticon Megatron, Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy, Transformers Netflix. Inside we got Megatron with his spiffy new paint scheme, as well as two other dudes whose names I didn't learn yet. We have Pinpointer and Lionizer, who I think are actually specific characters. I think Lionizer was one of the Japan exclusive headmasters that turned into a lion thing. I have the Titan Master version of that character, I think. And Pinpointer I know was a Target Master. I just can't remember who his partner was, but I think it's I think the character that's the repaint of Siege Ironhide was paired up with him, so that's interesting. We got CGI mock-ups of everything. Cool little symbol for, I guess this is probably for Kaon or something. And then little symbols over there for the Battle Masters. Skipped over it, but here is that neat just poster looking thing. I just love the way this looks. And that illustration again. Nothing much on this side. And then over here we got just the Transformers name and an Autobot logo. And yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get Megs out of here and take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here's Megatron in his sort of just basic setup, just the fusion cannon on his arm. And one of the first things you really notice about this guy is the paint job. That's really the big draw on this dude. Is he is pretty much just covered in paint. Most of his gray plastic has at least some level of silver paint on it. He's got some more unified details on here, including these scratches on his chest, which are straight out of the Netflix show. We got scratches all over his Decepticon symbol, some gunmetal burnishing on his fusion cannon and on his legs. It's a very good look. It's still very much that heavy kind of battle damage look that Siege has been going for, but he pulls it off a lot better than the others. They've also gone ahead and painted in details like the reds here and some of these details here on his chest to really make him feel more like his animation model. Now, I don't have the original version of Siege Megatron or the cell animated version to compare it by, though check out Shoki Reviews video on that if you want to see those comparisons. What I do have is my Generation 2 combat hero Megatron. Oh, we lost focus there for a second. So, as you can see, a little bit of a difference. Also, this guy has a different head mold. Oh wow, focus, dude. Has a different head mold that makes him look a little bit more like Megatron from the IDW Origins series. This has a more toon style Megatron head. Also, I have his cannon mounted up on his shoulder because he's supposed to be G2 Megatron. Who does that? I also have his little sword thing mounted like a shield because I think that looks cool. But as you can see, these are the same toy, just drastically different paint jobs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other accessories he has. To start off, we got his really cool sword, shield, gun thing that I just absolutely love. You can put it in his hand as a sword, and it kind of references back to the Japanese release of Megatron, G1 Megatron specifically, who had a nice chromed out sword. And this thing is huge, but I absolutely love it. And if you want, you can, like I did on the other one, attach it on his shoulder. Or you could attach it on his forearm. So he can punch people and stab them. You could put it on his back, like he's got it sheathed. There's ports all over this guy, so you can do all sorts of things. You can even attach it onto his fusion cannon. If I remember correctly, you're supposed to kind of open this up a little bit. And then you have some big cannon of murder, death, kill. I'm not going to display it like that, though. If he's going to sport it at all, he's either going to have it on his shoulder or he's going to hold it. But he has even more stuff than just this. To start, we have Lionizer, who's a battle master, weapon master, whatever. Technically, he's supposed to be an Autobot. That's what the packaging says, but I guess he's working with Megatron right now. Come on, focus. There we go. He's a brilliant orange. Looks like he's practically glowing in this light. And you can transform him into a couple of different modes for Megatron. Let's see. So just flipping things around. There we go. Doing all this stuff from memory. So everything just sort of pegs together. So you can turn them into a handheld gun. Just put that there and Megatron can go pew pew bang bang. Or if you want, you can flip things up. Said flip things up. There we go. And he has another sword. Doesn't look too bad. And this is where his little special effect part comes in. So you can put that on there so it's like he's going swoosh. And that's pretty cool. This stuff is a soft, rubbery plastic. Very pink. I wonder if this like glows in a UV light or something. Next up we have Pinpointer, who is a target master. Well, I guess they call them battle masters, whatever now. And so this is his gun mode. So you got little missiles there, gun barrels. You can even attach blast effect parts. So it looks like he's shooting. Just put that there. Or you can transform him into robot mode. And he makes a fairly decent little robot. Got ball joints at the shoulders and legs. No knees or elbows, but not too bad. Not entirely certain why they decided they needed to come with Megatron, because I thought they were going to be in the show. I mean, why else would you include them in the special Netflix edition packaging? But these guys are nowhere to be found. So it's a very odd inclusion. I don't necessarily mind them, but they don't add quite as much value as one might think. There we go. So there's all the stuff he comes with. But it is cool to have extra little battle guys, particularly for him to mount up on. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at his vehicle form. We've already did transformation on this guy's video, so we'll skip the transformation part and just go straight to vehicle mode. And here he is in his tank form. And I gotta say, the colors look pretty good in here. Oh, didn't finish closing that up. There we go. The little touches like the yellow there and some of the little some of the red detailing there is very, very nice. And again, having this like silver paint, gunmetal paint, whatever it is, accenting things is a very nice touch. He rolls pretty decently. He doesn't have actual treads, you just got these wheels. And yes, if you do bring him up like this, you can see very much so that he is a robot. So don't look at him like that. You look at him like this. You can rotate the turret, but you can't lift it up. And that's unfortunate. This part does not want to stay in. For comparison, here he is next to his Generation 2 Combat Hero version. So, a little bit of a different paint scheme there. And if you want to, you can take the little Weapon Master, Target Master dudes. Let's flip this guy around, lock his arms into place. And where can we put them? We got ports along the sides. And that's about it. No ports up here. So I guess we can put them like that. And then Lionizer. We can go ahead, transform once more. Flip the legs around. Flip the legs around. And we can, I guess, just plug Lionizer in on the other side. So, extra weapons. And we do have these parts, the effect parts. It does not want to focus on them. That's okay. So if we want, we can not put that in there. Oh, there we go. That one fits. So you can go boom. Or you can, I don't know, attach it here and have it, I don't know what that's supposed to be. We also have this one still, but that doesn't really have a place to go on this. So yeah, overall, I dig this set. Megatron itself is well worth the price of admission. So the Battle Masters kind of become bonus, maybe. That the main thing with them is that they just don't really feel like they go with this guy. At the very least, with the Hot Link Seeker mold,
They sort of felt like maybe they could have been his weapons or something like that, even though the color scheme was a little bit off. But these guys just feel surplus. Color-wise, they go okay, but yeah. I don't know if he'll end up being displayed with them or not. But yeah, I recommend this guy. If you can find him, if you can get him at a reasonable cost, go for it. He looks a lot like he does in the show, and that's always a plus. And it's just a good look for the Siege Megatron mold. And so I'm happy that I was able to get a hold of this. And it goes quite nicely with this one. I probably will be getting the Earthrise Megatron, but they just recently announced that they're going to do one based off of his original G2 colors. So you can imagine which version I'm getting. Anyway, that's been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront, where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.